Americans to make laws in every government jurisdiction of the United States. Now, will the Congress enact that? Of course not. The Congress would never enact that. They would never want to dilute their power. So how do we get it enacted? Real simple. We have to go ask the people with the technology we have today, do you want to be empowered to make laws? And if you say yes, then all you got to do is go to a site called the National Initiative, www.thenationalinitiative.us, and you can register and vote. And when 60 million Americans have done that, it will become the law of the land, and the people, for once, will be able to get control of their government, because what's provided by this is that the people will have the central power of government, which is lawmaking, not voting. The power of government is law. When you give your power away on election day, they go there and they legislate, they make laws, and you have to obey them. What I'm saying is, if you want to have power, you have to have the same thing, the power to make laws that you will then make, and then you will obey. And it's not a frightening experience. Once you get by the first 2 years of it, you'll be voting on policy issues 3 and 4 a year at the federal level, 3 and 4 a year at the state level, 3 and 4 a year at the government that structurally has barriers that do not permit people to legitimately address the public issues. The barriers are there. They're generic barriers. You can't overcome them. Now, if we ask the constituency of the people to vote on, they have no barriers. They vote their enlightened self-interest. Now, you talk about issues here in California. They have very bad law. In the 24 states, in the states that have initiatives, it's bad law. You turn around, you qualify an issue, and in California, it takes about $1 million to qualify an issue. You qualify an issue, everybody throws money at it, and you vote. That's not a way to make law. Not at all. What you need to do is you have to have a deliberative process where you have hearings, markups, communications, advisory votes, and then you people finally make law, and you vote on it.
Wait, and you said it's 60 million people that would have to vote.
Here's the criteria. The creation, what we're doing is with the National Initiative, we're going entirely around the government. And there's no easy way. I, like you, would hope that there would be an easy way to do this.
I think that we're screwed.
Huh?
I hate to say that, but I think
Well,
we're
but then we
screwed.
might as well pass out the razor blades and all slash our wrists.
Well, I think that
Because if we are screwed, there's no hope in the world. Because, here, you want to talk about being screwed, I'll give you a lecture on the nation state and what's going on in the world and on the planet today. You know, if we keep it up, we're cooking the human race off the planet in 100 years. So we are screwed. But now, are we so dumb that we don't have enough rational mind that we can't come together and try and reason it out?
It's apathy.
No, it's not apathy, and it's not ignorance. You know, people can do some great things when they can get the right tools. And so what I put before you is a tool for governance. And that's just the beginning of it. Because if we can get the people in this country to get control of their government, it will go around the world like wildfire, and we can get control of the planet. Here, until we have global governance, we'll never have peace. And until we have peace, we'll never be able to apportion the resources of the world fairly to the people of the world.
Now, what do you mean by global governance? You mean like a
Global governance.
Like a one world order kind of a thing?
No, one world order. I don't know what you mean by one world order. I'm talking about global governance, where you turn around and disarm the countries of the world and say there's only one place where you have arms, that you can't go to war. Can Pennsylvania declare war on New York? Can they? Of course they can. Can Schwarzenegger turn around and invade Nevada? Of course he can. Why can't he? Because you've got a federal law that says he can't do that. Why can't you do that at the global level? Does that take rocket science to figure that out? It's called federalism. It was discovered in 1292 by the Swiss with the Bundesbrief. And so, is this so unusual that we would think that maybe we ought to do this globally? Here, why do we have to be sovereign in the United States and think that we've got to be the world's policeman? Why can't we have the United States, the UN be the world's policeman? Is that so bad?
The UN screws up a lot, though.
Well, of course it screws up a lot. Who runs the UN? We do. And the four other nations in the Security Council, who are all tied to a system that existed at the end of the Second World War. Whose fault is that? That's us. That's China. That's France. Who do you think puts all the weaponry into the World Arms Bazaar? The 5 members of the Security Council. You remember when? Who knows what the what was it? The order 41, which was an order that was put out by the American State Department, signed by Bill Clinton. Does anybody know what that means? What it was an order to all of the embassies in the United States. What is it?
Keep going.
Tough for me to focus on this. Get me set up once and for all. What it was an order to all of our embassies in the world saying that our first job was to get American producers of weaponry sold in those countries. Now that's an interesting thing. And that they would be graded by it and be promoted. And so those ambassadors that sold most American weapons in those countries would be considered for promotion. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm revolted by this. Now, that's the Democrats. Don't tell me about the Republicans. They're nuts. But these are the frog treatment. If you take a pan of boiling water and you drop a frog in it, the frog jumps out. That's obvious. Well, that's George Bush with the pan of hot water. Now, if you want to take the Democrats, that's tepid water. Put the frog in and turn the heat up slowly. And that's the Democrats cooking the frog. No difference. No difference. What's the end result? Here, we've got 50 years of inducing fear in the American people. We're afraid of everybody. And yet we get this triumphalism. Stop here, reason this out with me. We spend more money on defense than what are you doing?
Very good.
No, can you kill it? It really is distractive.
All right.
Yeah. Here, stop me think. We spend more on defense than all the rest of the world put together. Okay. Let's look at the pie. That's 50% of the world weaponry of the world we spend. Britain is 5%. France is 5%. Japan is 4%. So we and our immediate allies control 64% of the world weaponry. Who are we afraid of?
In terms of cost, we do. But China and Russia arguably produce nearly as much. But
Oh God, really? What do you think they produce of the world weaponry? What percentage?
Well, are you saying?
What percent? Wait a second. You just walked right into it. What percentage do you think China spends on world weaponry?
Percentage in terms of dollar value, percentage in terms of actual arms?
No, dollar value. I don't care. The arms means nothing.
15%, 10%.
No, 10% of ours, 5% of the world.
Okay.
What do you think for Russia? Guess. 3%. Okay, so that means that Russia and China, who are not our enemies by any stretch of the imagination, spend 8% of the world pie, and we spend 50% and control 65%. Who are we afraid of? Why are we doing this? Does this make any sense at all? Any rational sense? Explain to me why we built 8 holes in Alaska for an ABM system that costs over $100 billion when the only threat to our immediate survival is terrorism. Now, what do you use those holes for terrorism? We're now in Poland, and thank God the Polish leadership may come to their senses, but we want to build an ABM system there that will cost $100 billion. Why the hell do we want to do that? Huh?
That's ridiculous, yeah, because
Well, this is your leadership. This is the Congress of the United States, the American foreign policy of this country. You say it's ridiculous. Did you hear anybody in the Congress filibuster this expenditure? You tell me it's ridiculous? Of course it's ridiculous. It's insanity. But is there anybody in American leadership that's prepared to put it on the line? Have you heard Obama talk about this? Ask Obama. You know, he's selling you blue sky. Ask Obama, why the hell we have to spend all this money on defense when we got no threat?
American people like it, for one.
They don't like it. They're
scared.
The American people in the world. Do you like maybe your friend
They like
going into
feeling
service and torturing somebody down in Guantanamo? Do you like that?
I like feeling safe, though. That's the difference. I'm not saying that we like to buy weapons per se. I'm saying that we like to feel secure, and they know that. So that's why they got us scared all the time with
But it's a
threat levels.
hoax.
Those are the crap.
That's right. They're scared.